Welcome to Buzz Around the Globe. The dark clouds of famine are also taking lives in the war-torn Gaza. 12 people drowned trying to reach aid that was dropped by a plane off a beach in Gaza. This is according to the Palestinian health authorities that are saying this amid growing fears of famine nearly 6 months into Israel's military campaign. According to Reuters, a video obtained by them showed crowds of people running towards the beach in North Gaza as crates with parachutes floated down. Then it shows people standing deep in water and bodies being pulled onto the sand. In Washington, the Pentagon said 3 of the 18 bundles of airdropped aid into Gaza on Monday had parachute malfunctions and fell into the water, but could not confirm if anyone was killed trying to reach the aid. It was the latest in a string of incidents involving deaths during aid deliveries in the crowded Palestinian enclave, where some people are foraging for weeds to eat and baking barely edible bread from animal feet. According to some reports, the aid was from United States, but it was not confirmed. Aid agencies say only about a fifth of required supplies are entering Gaza as Israel persists with an air and ground offensive triggered by the Hamas's October 7th attack. They say deliveries by air or sea directly onto Hamas-run Gaza's beaches are no substitute for increased supplies coming in by land via Israel or Egypt. UN Secretary General has urged Israel to give an ironclad commitment for unfettered aid access into the Gaza Strip and described the number of trucks blocked at the border as a moral outrage. Israel says it puts no limit on the amount of humanitarian aid entering Gaza and blames problems in it reaching civilians within the enclave on UN agencies, which it says are inefficient. Distribution of aid inside Gaza has been complicated, particularly in the north. And last month, health authorities in Gaza said Israeli troops killed more than 100 people trying to take aid from a convoy. Israel's military at that time disputed that account, saying people who had rushed to the convoy had been crushed to death by the crowd or aid trucks. It has banned UNRWA, the main UN agency working in Gaza, which it accuses of complicity with Hamas, from carrying out aid deliveries to the north. UNRWA denies it is complicit with Hamas and is awaiting the results of investigations into its handling of the accusations, which have led some donors to pause funding. The UN Humanitarian Office urged Israel on Tuesday to revoke an apparent ban on food aid to North Gaza by UNRWA, saying people there were facing a cruel death by famine. UNRWA says the drownings show that the best way to deliver aid was by trucks run by aid agencies. Earlier, as the global politics continued on the war, Israel reacted angrily on Monday to the first UN Security Council vote to demand an immediate ceasefire in the Gaza war after its closest ally, the United States, abstained while fighting raged on in the Palestinian territory. Immediately after the resolution passed, Israel cancelled the visit of a delegation to Washington, which the United States had requested to discuss concerns over a mooted Israeli invasion of Rafah in crowded southern Gaza. Now, Israel said that the United States' decision to abstain hurts both its war effort and attempts to release hostages. Foreign military aircraft again dropped aid into northern Gaza, where the humanitarian situation is particularly acute and civilians are fleeing south. The White House said, between all this, it was itself perplexed and disappointed by Israel's cancellation of the delegation to Washington. But the global hope is that the negotiations between the two warring sides, Israel and Hamas, and also Israel and US would continue for the sake of preventing further humanitarian crisis. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates, subscribe to India Today.